You don't need internet to play amazing games. These are 30 offline mobile games that feel like console experiences, and some of them will surprise you. Without further ado, let's get to the video. This game is pure speed and chaos from start to finish. You jump into a world full of enemies where every fight can end instantly. There's no safe moment, everything depends on your reflexes and decisions in real time. The combat is extremely fast, smooth, and satisfying, with different weapons and abilities that completely change how you play. Every attempt feels different, so it never gets boring. If you enjoy hardcore action games where skill matters more than luck, this will hook you immediately. And the best part is, it works completely offline, so you can play it anywhere, anytime. Grimvalor delivers a true console-like action experience on mobile. You explore dark and dangerous fantasy worlds filled with enemies that actually challenge your timing and precision. Every fight feels heavy and impactful, with smooth controls that make combat feel responsive and satisfying. You're not just tapping buttons, you're actually learning patterns, dodging attacks, and mastering combat flow. The boss fights are intense and memorable, each one testing your skills in a different way. If you like dark fantasy action games with real challenge and atmosphere, this one is a must-play. Shadow Fight 2 is a classic mobile fighting game that puts you in a shadow world full of powerful enemies. You battle using martial arts, weapons, and special skills where timing and precision decide everything. As you progress, you unlock stronger gear, learn new combat styles, and face challenging bosses that get harder with every stage. The gameplay is smooth, intense, and very satisfying. What makes it even better is that the main story mode works completely offline, letting you enjoy a full action experience anywhere without internet. If you enjoy skill-based fighting games, this is a must-play. Into the Dead 2 throws you straight into a zombie apocalypse where survival is the only goal. You're constantly moving forward through endless waves of zombies, and every second is about reacting fast and staying alive. You'll unlock weapons, upgrade your loadout, and complete story missions that make the experience more intense and cinematic as you progress. Each run feels different, with new dangers and situations appearing every time. The game mixes fast action with survival tension, making every moment unpredictable and exciting. Nova Legacy is a fast-paced sci-fi first-person shooter where you step into the role of an elite space soldier fighting against alien forces. The game takes you through futuristic missions filled with intense gunfights, explosions, and high-tech weapons. The gameplay is smooth and lightweight, making it easy to jump into quick action-packed missions on mobile. You can upgrade your weapons, complete objectives, and experience a compact but exciting FPS campaign. What makes it really appealing is that it can be played offline in its main mode, giving you a console-style shooting experience anywhere, anytime without needing internet. Cover Fire is a tactical third-person shooter that focuses on cover-based combat and precise shooting. You lead a team of soldiers through different missions where positioning and timing are more important than rushing in. Each mission feels cinematic, with objectives that range from eliminating enemies to surviving intense battlefield situations. The controls are simple, but the gameplay still feels strategic and satisfying. The game delivers a console-like shooting experience on mobile, and the best part is that you can play the main missions offline, making it a solid action game anywhere, anytime. Unkilled is a fast-paced zombie shooter that puts you right in the middle of a full zombie outbreak in New York City. You take on different missions where your goal is to eliminate waves of zombies and survive increasingly difficult scenarios. The game offers a wide variety of weapons, upgrades, and special missions that keep the action fresh and engaging. The shooting mechanics are smooth and easy to control, making it accessible but still intense. With its solid graphics and non-stop action gameplay, Unkilled delivers a console-like zombie experience on mobile. World War Heroes is a first-person shooter set in realistic World War II battles. You join fast-paced combat scenarios where teamwork, aim, and strategy all play an important role in surviving the battlefield. The game features different weapons, maps, and modes that recreate the feeling of classic war shooters. Every match feels intense, with constant action and competitive gameplay. It delivers a console-like FPS experience on mobile, focusing on realistic gunfights and military combat. You can enjoy certain modes offline, making it flexible for both online and offline play. Mad Out 2 throws you into a massive open world where everything feels unpredictable and chaotic. You're not just following missions, you're free to roam, drive any vehicle you want, and create your own situations across the city. The physics are wild, the driving is messy, and the whole game focuses more on fun chaos than realism. Every moment can turn into something unexpected, from high-speed crashes to random street battles. It's the kind of game where you don't really plan anything, you just jump in and see what happens next, making it a pure sandbox-style experience with constant action. Gangstar Vegas drops you into a huge open-world city where crime, action, and freedom all mix together. You can take on missions, explore the streets, or simply mess around with cars, weapons, and everything the city offers. The game is packed with variety, from shooting missions to driving challenges and random events happening around you. It doesn't try to be realistic, instead, it focuses on giving you constant action and freedom in a chaotic environment. It feels like a mobile version of a crime sandbox where anything can happen at any moment, making it a fun open-world experience you can jump into anytime. Minecraft is a game where you start with nothing and slowly turn a simple world into whatever you imagine. There are no strict rules or paths to follow, you decide whether to build, explore, or survive. You can gather resources, craft tools, and shape entire landscapes block by block. Every world feels different because everything is generated randomly, giving you endless possibilities every time you play. It's a sandbox experience that mixes creativity and survival in a way that almost never ends, making it one of the most flexible and long-lasting games ever made. In Stardew Valley, you leave behind the busy modern world and start a completely new life on a quiet, forgotten farm. At first, everything feels empty and simple, but slowly you begin to rebuild the land into something alive again. You spend your days farming, fishing, mining, and getting to know the people around you. There's no rush or pressure, you decide how you want to live each day, whether it's working on your farm or exploring the world outside it. The game creates a calm and emotional experience where progress feels personal and meaningful, turning simple daily tasks into something relaxing and rewarding. Terraria drops you into a 2D world full of endless possibilities where everything is waiting to be discovered. You start with basic tools and almost nothing, but as you explore, you uncover caves, treasures, and dangerous enemies hidden deep underground. The game constantly pushes you to gather resources, craft stronger gear, and take on massive boss fights that test your progress. Every step forward unlocks new areas and new challenges, making the world feel alive and expanding as you play. It's a mix of survival, adventure, and creativity where your journey is shaped entirely by how far you're willing to explore and build. Evoland is a unique RPG that takes you on a journey through the history of video games itself. As you progress, the game constantly changes its graphics, gameplay style, and mechanics, starting from very simple retro visuals and evolving into a more modern RPG experience. You explore different areas, fight enemies, and unlock new features that gradually transform how the game looks and plays. This constant evolution keeps the experience fresh and surprising from start to finish. It's not just a normal adventure game, it feels like a tribute to classic gaming, showing how far video games have come in one continuous journey. Life is Strange puts you in situations where small decisions slowly turn into major consequences. You don't just play the story, you shape it with every choice you make, sometimes without even realizing the impact. The ability to rewind time changes how you think about every moment, letting you explore different outcomes and see how things could have gone differently. But not every choice has a perfect answer, and that's where the tension comes in. It's a game that focuses more on emotions, relationships, and consequences than action, making each episode feel like a personal experience that stays with you. The Walking Dead is not about fighting zombies, it's about surviving in a world where every choice changes everything. You follow a group of survivors trying to stay alive in a world that has completely fallen apart. What makes the game powerful is how every decision affects the story and the people around you. There are no easy answers, and sometimes the hardest choices leave the biggest impact. It feels less like a game and more like an emotional journey where trust, survival, and human relationships matter more than anything else. Oxenfree starts as a simple night trip with friends on a quiet island, but quickly turns into something strange and unpredictable. You explore dark locations where reality doesn't always behave the way it should. The story unfolds through natural conversations, where your dialogue choices shape relationships and how events develop. There's no traditional combat, everything is built around exploration and mystery. It creates a tense but calm atmosphere where you slowly uncover something supernatural hiding beneath the surface, making every moment feel slightly unsettling and interesting. Limbo throws you into a silent black and white world where nothing is explained and everything feels uncertain. You move forward without guidance, trying to survive in an environment that constantly feels dangerous and unknown. Every step could lead to a puzzle or a sudden trap, forcing you to think carefully before acting. There are no dialogues or instructions, just atmosphere, timing, and observation. It's a minimal experience, but that simplicity is exactly what makes it powerful. The game keeps you curious and uneasy at the same time, pushing you forward just to see what happens next. Inside is a puzzle and adventure game set in a dark and mysterious world. You control a lone boy who is trying to escape while moving through dangerous and unknown environments. There are no dialogues or explanations during the game, and the story is told only through the environment, events, and visual storytelling. Each level is filled with puzzles and unexpected situations that require careful thinking to solve. The atmosphere is heavy, strange, and sometimes disturbing, and as you progress, the story becomes deeper and more mysterious. Another world takes you into a strange alien planet after a scientific experiment goes completely wrong. You suddenly find yourself alone in a hostile environment where nothing feels familiar and every moment can turn dangerous. The game focuses on exploration, survival, and puzzle solving as you try to escape this unknown world. There is very little guidance, so you learn everything through observation and trial. Its visual style is simple but artistic, using minimal graphics and smooth animations to create a strong atmospheric experience. Despite its age, it still feels unique, immersive, and different from modern games, almost like playing an interactive sci-fi movie. Monument Valley 3 continues the series with another visually stunning puzzle adventure built around impossible architecture and optical illusions. You guide a character through surreal worlds where stairs shift, paths rotate, and reality changes as you interact with the environment. Each level is designed like a moving piece of art, where solving puzzles feels less like a challenge and more like exploring a living painting. The game focuses on calm thinking, observation, and discovering hidden paths in creative ways. With its peaceful atmosphere, smooth animations, and minimal storytelling, it creates a relaxing experience that feels both emotional and visually unique from start to finish. The Room, Old Sins takes you into a mysterious investigation centered around a missing couple and a strange mechanical dollhouse hidden inside their home. As you explore, every object you interact with hides complex mechanisms, secrets, and hidden compartments. The game is built around detailed puzzle solving where you physically examine objects, rotate mechanisms, and unlock hidden layers step by step. Every room feels like a carefully designed mystery waiting to be solved. With its dark atmosphere, realistic object design, and highly detailed animations, it creates an immersive experience that feels like solving a real interactive mystery box. Mini Metro is a minimalist strategy puzzle game where you become the designer of a growing subway system. At the start, there are only a few stations, but as the city expands, more and more passengers appear and everything slowly becomes chaotic. The game is played on a simple map where you draw lines between stations, just like building real metro routes. Your job is to keep the system efficient by connecting stations, managing trains, and preventing overcrowding. As the city grows, you must constantly rethink your routes and improve your network to avoid delays and chaos. It looks simple, but it becomes increasingly challenging and requires smart planning and quick decisions. Alto's Odyssey is a relaxing endless runner set in a beautiful desert landscape where you glide through sand dunes, canyons, and ancient ruins. There is no real story to follow. Instead, the game focuses on the feeling of freedom and smooth movement. You control Alto as he rides down endless hills, performs tricks, and completes simple objectives while exploring different environments. The gameplay is easy to learn but becomes more satisfying as you master timing and movement. With its dynamic weather, day-night cycles, and calming music, the game creates a peaceful experience that feels more like a journey than a challenge. Badland is set in a strange, living forest where everything around you is constantly in motion. You guide a small flying creature through tight spaces filled with traps, spinning machines, and sudden obstacles. Instead of focusing on combat or story, the game relies on timing and reaction. One moment everything is calm, and the next second the screen turns into pure chaos where survival depends on quick decision. The visual style is dark and artistic, and the physics-based movement makes every section feel unpredictable. It creates a mix of tension and flow where you never fully feel safe. Rebel Inc. places you in charge of stabilizing a region after a conflict ends, where rebuilding order is more important than fighting battles. You manage resources, support civilians, and balance decisions between military control and public trust. Every action affects how the region reacts. If you focus too much on force, unrest grows. If you ignore security, chaos spreads. The challenge is finding the right balance to keep everything under control. The game feels like a strategic simulation where every choice has long-term consequences, and success depends on planning, patience, and smart decision-making rather than fast reactions. Plague Inc. is a strategy simulation where you design and evolve a disease with the goal of spreading it across the entire world. You start with a simple infection, then gradually develop new symptoms, transmission methods, and resistance abilities. Every country reacts differently depending on climate, healthcare systems, and global response. As the infection grows, humanity begins to fight back by developing cures and closing borders, making each decision more critical than the last. The experience feels like a global battle of survival, where intelligence and planning decide how fast the infection spreads and whether it dominates the world or gets eliminated. Baba Is You is a puzzle game where the rules of reality are not fixed, they are part of the level itself. Instead of following instructions, you actually change them by moving words around the map. Each level is built from simple logic blocks like Baba, Is, You, and Wall, and by rearranging them, you completely alter how the game works. Walls can become walkable, objects can become characters, and victory conditions can change instantly. The challenge is not speed or reflex, but pure thinking. Every solution feels like breaking the rules of the game itself in the most creative way possible. Every run in Soul Knight starts in a randomly generated dungeon filled with enemies, rooms, and unpredictable situations. You pick a character and immediately begin fighting with whatever weapon you find along the way. The focus is on fast movement, constant action, and adapting to changing weapons and abilities. Each room cleared leads to new upgrades, stronger gear, and more dangerous encounters. No two attempts feel the same, because everything from the layout to the weapons is random, creating a loop of quick battles and constant progression. Hoplite is a turn-based strategy game where every move matters. You control a single warrior navigating through dangerous levels filled with enemies, traps, and limited space for mistakes. Instead of rushing, the game forces you to think ahead. Each action, whether moving, attacking, or dodging, changes the outcome of the entire battle. One wrong decision can end your run instantly. As you progress, you unlock new abilities that add more depth to your tactics, making every level feel like a careful puzzle of survival and positioning. Simple to understand, but extremely challenging to master.